Good morning, everybody. Brian over at Beyond Mountains Homestead. And I guess what I want to do today is I'd like to talk to you about what we got going on here and why I'm doing these vlogs. Um, I think a lot of it has to do with the way that our family um, has come to know and understand what we put into our bodies, as far as our food intake um, and the stuff that even the stuff that we just get exposed to on a daily basis, from my kids, the stuff that they're exposed to. And we want to change. We wanted to change a few things. And my wife and I have been on this uh, little farm for about, I guess we're going on 15 years, and we've been doing this, a lot of this kind of stuff for all that time. We've had goats here ever since we've lived here, chickens here ever since we've lived here. The horses came just 1 or 2 years later, and the little mini horses and the mini pigs. We rescued them from a very unfortunate situation where there was a mini horse, three mini pigs, and a bunch of chickens, all living in an 8x10 shed with an 8x10 paddock with no water and all stock feed. And it was in the middle of winter, and it was about 2 degrees out when we found them, when we were alerted to their plight and asked if we could take them on. And we had plenty of property, so we did. In hindsight, it probably wasn't the smartest thing to do. I mean, it was good for the animals, but now in retrospect, it's the animals, the horses and the pigs. While they're idyllic to look at, they're fun to look at, and um, they're of no uh, beneficial use to us, and we can't ride the horses. They're completely green. Can't go near the pigs. They're wild because they've just lived in a barn for their lives, and they have a nice big run that they have had all that time, and they hardly ever even go out in it. They like to just lay in their barn and sleep. Horses have a nice big run that I'm trying to clear out. And our goal is to get rid of the horses or rehome them. I don't like to say get rid of them. It sounds so, I don't know, harsh. But we want to rehome them and then get some pigs to run down through their pasture. I'm looking at them now. They heard me talking and they ran up to the fence. But if I was to go up to the fence, they'd run away. So, anyway, same with the pigs. The pigs just eat and poop, and that's their whole entire existence. And all they do is they're roommates with a rooster. That's it. A little tiny banty rooster that lives with them. And the goats are Boer goats, so they have the potential, as meat goats to feed our family. But I'm not going to eat a horse, and I'm not going to eat a Vietnamese pot-bellied mini pig or whatever offshoot of it that is. I'm not sure what they are. I'm not going to eat those either. And they're also like 7 years old and probably not going to taste so great. So, why do we do what we do? I mean, there's a lot of reasons. Self-sufficiency, of course. All the typical stuff you hear on just about every vlog in the homestead community. Um, but I would say that the main driving force for us to do what we're doing now is for our kids. Our kids are, well, they're one of the main reasons we exist now. Everything we do, everything we think about, it always is about our kids, and that's what we love about having our kids. Um, we want them to grow up eating healthy food and having a healthy outlook on life, and um, getting their their feet dirty and their hands dirty and working in the garden. And it's a struggle at times to get them out here. They don't like being out in the garden and getting dirty. Um, sometimes they do. It's kind of a hit or miss thing. Um, and so it's all about my kids. A lot of it. It's just about my kids and also, uh, I don't know if I might have alluded to this in a previous post, but my wife and I adopted our children 5 years ago in May. We finally got them home. The process actually started 3 years before that. And we adopted our children from Haiti. And it took us 3 years to get them. And then when we finally got them home, um, you know, I was 47 years old when I became a dad. That was 5 years ago, so do the math, right? So I'm an old dad. In fact, I've had many people come up to me and say, "Hey, how old are your grandkids?" you know, they're not my grandkids; they're my kids, and they're also not the same color as me. Um, their skin color is brown, and mine's not. And my kids are the most beautiful kids on earth, and to me, anyway. I think to a lot of people think that too, though. I get comments all the time about how beautiful they are, and they are lovely kids. They are well behaved for the most part. Yeah, they get into their spats with each other on a regular basis, but they do a great job of, at least when they're around other people, they do a pretty good job of towing the line. Um, but they came from Haiti, and they weren't malnourished when we got them, but they did have other issues with regard to food and other issues. Just there's some. I'm not going to get onto all that, but however, they so we're old parents. So back to what I was trying to my point I was trying to make earlier. The food that we eat and the food that we put into our bodies, for 47 years, Twinkies, pizza, all the stuff that you really probably couldn't even consider to be food. Doritos, soda. I never was a big soda drinker. My wife was, but I wasn't. Beer, whiskey, all that kind of stuff. And I'm not down in any of that stuff necessarily. But what I am trying to say is now I have to be able to, I'm 52 years old. My daughter's 10. In 8 years, I'll be 60 years old, and she'll be graduating high school. I'll be 60. So by the time she gets married, I'm going to be in my mid to late 60s. Will I still be here? I hope to be, and I plan to be. But when you get to your senior years, you never know, what can happen. And all my family, all their kids are grown and out and already have grandkids, and here I am at 52, and I'm a dad of a 10-year-old and a 9-year-old, and I love every second of it. I'm not complaining. They are a joy in my life that surpasses understanding. I don't even get it. Um, so that's why we do a lot of what we do, and we live on a little about just shy of 6 acres. We have our horses, our chickens, we have our ducks, we have our gardens. One garden is basically, well, you guys know from previous videos, is under construction, so to speak, because we're going with a heavy deep bed mulch and back to Eden garden style uh, setup. And then the other garden is, I just put it in, but it's being our productive garden now, because we're going to put mulch down, and I've got lots of it, but we're just going to put it down as it needs it. Not We're not going to actually build that soil like the old garden is being built now. Um, we're going to do it a little bit at a time in this garden, because we need to get some production going, and we do have some production up in the old garden: potatoes, onions, uh, garlic, blueberries. Well, blueberries are just bushes. They've been up there for years. Anyway, um, yeah, it's My kids are still in bed. It's their first full day of summer, and I'm going to give them pretty much, free reign to sleep in. And but tomorrow we're going to get up a little earlier, and we're going to all get to work. And yeah, some little updates are I introduced those black Australorps up to the pen, and they spent the first couple days not knowing what the heck to do. They were huddled in a corner on top of each other. I couldn't. They looked like a ball of feathers. But now they're starting to get the swing of things. They're getting out in the pen and moving around and getting chased by some of the other ones, learning where they are in the pecking order. And oh, the chicken door, the automatic chicken door was ordered. It should be here this week. That's ordered, so I'm going to install that. And I have a slightly unique setup for that, so I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that. And you're welcome to come along. And let's see, what else do we have going on? Planted a bunch more stuff in the garden. Oh, this is interesting. So, we belong to a small Baptist church, but the church is on about 12 acres. And behind the parsonage, which is next door, there's a huge, huge garden. And our pastor, who's a wonderful guy, he says, hey, you want this giant chunk of the garden to plant whatever you want in it for your family? And I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, well, you can just take this, once I plant this area, you can have the whole rest of that. And it's big. It's 3 times bigger or 5 times bigger than what I got. And I said, yeah, I'll take it. Now, it's a little late in the season, but what we're going to do is buy started plants. And I think because it's so big, we're going to plant melons, cantaloupe, honeydew, and there was something else. I forget what it is. I don't recall now, but doesn't matter. But we're going to do that. So that's going to jump up on the list of things to do because I've got to get that ground worked. It's all worked for years, and it's really nutrient dense ground. I just have to till it up because it's not a back to Eden style garden or anything like that. It's just dirt, and there's no water out there, so we have to truck water in or whatever. But yeah, we're looking forward to doing that. And as I was leaving church last night, he said, hey, come over here for a minute. And he handed me a flat of tomatoes and eggplants that are already started. So I'm going to put some of those in our garden here because my tomatoes that I started in my house are not doing great. But maybe it's just because we hadn't had rain for a few days. Now, I did install a sprinkler on our fence post of this new fence and have been using that. So we'll see if that helps. But yeah, we're pretty excited about the chicken door, the new chickens being up in the coop. There's like 30, I lost count now. I can't remember, 32, 36, 37 birds up there now with counting the ducks. So that's pretty cool. Love that. We should be getting lots of eggs here in the next month or so. The old walk behind plow cultivator thing is still on the radar to get repaired and get new handles made. That's going to still happen. Of course, the chicken door is going in. And then as time allows, I'm going to do some more homeschool videos. We went to a big convention this past weekend, and my head was ready to explode. There was so much information going into my head about this. And I am the homeschooler. My wife will be working, and I'll be doing the homeschooling and running the homestead. So I just hope you guys will join me and come on this journey with us, and as we vlog about it. And, we've got some other things coming up. We'll be going to a big homesteading conference in Virginia in October, and we'll take you along to that. In September, I think it's September, or is it August? No, September is the Mother Earth News Fair. We do all 3 days. We go out to that, and we stay right there at the hotel, and we go out and just glean and learn everything we can learn. We split up. We have a color-coded list of all the different seminars and conferences and all that kind of stuff, and we split it up, and I'll take the kids for a little bit, my wife will take the kids for the next one, and then we'll split it up and go see everything. And of course, Joel Salatin's there. You can't beat that with a stick. I mean, he's amazing. If you haven't never seen Joel Salatin speak or heard him speak, go on YouTube, check him out. He's amazing. And there'll be some other people there. Doug and Stacy, Off Grid with Doug and Stacy, they're going to be there. And I forget who else. Oh, and they'll also be at the other conference in October, as will Esther Emery and Joel Salatin. So I'm so excited. This is so exciting to me. And yeah, that's it. So there'll be more videos coming up here shortly. Soon in the next couple days. It's a little hard now because I have the kids here. So all my videos will be first thing in the morning because they like to sleep. I like to get up. What are you gonna do? I'm not a night owl. I'm an early morning person. My kids will sleep till noon if I let them. So anyway, have a blessed day. This is Brian at Beyond Mountains Homestead, and we'll see you very shortly for some new videos. Okay, see ya. Okay, so just a quick update on the garden. I forgot to mention this part, but I put this, I don't know what you call it, like a garden trellis thing that we had forever sitting in the barn, or in front of the barn. And I just screwed it to the fence there, and I planted below it a heritage or heirloom variety pole bean called, I believe they're called White Star. And I bought these beans at the Landis Valley Museum, which is a restoration of a colonial era village. And they had a bunch of really cool stuff there, so I bought a couple packs of beans or seeds there, and that was one of them. So I have some other ones I want to get planted too. Now, way back over here, take you over there quick. In this corner of this garden, right in here, I don't know how big this area is. It's 10 by 10 maybe or something. I was messaging on YouTube Chelsea from Little Mountain Ranch. She was talking about the Great Pumpkin Challenge, and I'd heard about it from Eric in Life and Farmland, from Melanie at Road to the Farm, and she said I should do it. This is Chelsea from Little Mountain Ranch. So Chelsea, I'm in, and thanks to you and your I guess wonderful way of making everything seem so, I don't know, exciting and alive. You have talked me into it. So in this ground are some Dill's Atlantic giant pumpkin seeds, and we'll see what happens. So thanks, Chelsea. And one more thing I did, was having trouble getting things watered down here, and things were looking a little peaked. So I took a half-inch piece of PVC pipe, screwed it to, well, before I screwed it to the fence, I heated it up. You can see where I burned it a little bit. And I took a brand new sprinkler that I purchased, and it has a metal aluminum spike that you would stick in the ground. Well, I heated up the pipe and squeezed it around that. I keep getting off track here. Squeezed it around right here so that it took the shape of the bottom of the spike, which has like 4 protrusions on it, or whatever you want to call it, and then it won't move now. It won't spin inside the pipe. And then I added this section on here, the shut-off valve, and I can bring my hose down here, which is about a 150-foot hose, and I get to water the garden, and it works really great. I think that's it. Yeah, so it's just a little add-on to the last video. Okay, well, maybe I'll make it a separate video. I don't know, we'll see. All right, take care, guys. See you on the next video.